Alright, we're going to attempt this again. This video has been very difficult to make. It's hard to talk about, and I'm having technical difficulties on top of it. So I think talking about it, having these test runs has made it a little bit easier, so maybe that's a good thing. You can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about eating disorders and my experience with eating disorders. So I just want to preface that if you have an eating disorder, this video is hopefully here to help you, but if you are extremely triggered by talking about treatment and going into residential treatment, I am going to be talking a little bit about that. Also, I am a Christian, and I'm going to be talking about a little bit about struggling with an eating disorder as a Christian. So I am going to be talking a little bit about my beliefs in this video. I am not here to push it in your face, and I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I ask that you please be respectful in the comments. Anybody talks about their beliefs, and please be respectful to me too. I have the right to believe what I want, and you have the right to believe what you want. I'm just telling you my experience and telling you what I believe to be true. So with that out of the way, we're going to get into this. I am a makeup channel here, so this is a little bit different of a video. I will be putting on makeup as I'm talking about this. I'm not going to be talking about the makeup I'm putting on or explaining how or why I'm putting it on, but this is just so I have something to do with my hands, basically, because this is not an easy thing for me or most people, anybody really, to talk about. Nobody talks about this, and I think that needs to change. Okay, so why am I making this video? Like I just said, I feel like eating disorders are not talked about enough. They are so much more common than you think. There's so many people that have eating disorders and don't talk about them. They hide it for years and years until it gets to the point where it's bad. I know several girls in my own personal life that have them or have had them, and I think that it's time to start talking about them because I think even the number of eating disorders has skyrocketed because of COVID, but I think that putting shame on eating disorders and not wanting to talk about them makes people with eating disorders hide even more when it's something that we need help with, and we shouldn't have to hide it from friends, family, and just the world. It's something we struggle with, and yeah, so that's why I'm making this video. I want to talk a little bit about my experience with eating disorder. So I am an anorexic. It took a very long time for me to say that out loud because it's like shameful. It's not something you want to admit. And I know a lot of people with eating disorders who are struggling just to even admit that they have one. There are several types of eating disorders, but I'm anorexic, which basically means that I restrict the food that I eat. I try to eat as little as possible. Again, I am recovered now. It's an ongoing process, but I do eat normally now, but it is still a struggle. I lost my train of thought already. This is gonna be a great video. Okay, let's put on some foundation here. So when I was in high school, I actually was anorexic, but didn't really fully know it. I think I knew it, I just didn't want to admit it. There was a good solid year where I didn't eat a whole lot. I would eat a cup of yogurt in the morning, and that was about it. I managed to pull out of that and have lived and ate normally since then. I am currently 33, and last year around February or March, I started restricting again. And it's crazy the little things that can set it off. I got a stomach bug and dropped 7 pounds from that, from just feeling sick, throwing up, feeling sick, not wanting to eat because I felt nauseous. I dropped 7 pounds, and I'm like, well, that was easy. So I just kept eating less and less until I got to a point to where it was hard to take 2 bites of food without being full and just feeling sick and gross. And it is very strange. It happens so gradually. You don't really realize that it's taken hold until it has control over what you do, what you eat, and even how you feel. Like I got to where I didn't want to do anything. I would just sit and stare at a wall sometimes, and it's weird. And it's something you sit there, even when you're in it, you're like, why am I doing this? I don't want to do this. I don't want this eating disorder. but it just takes hold, and it does everything it can to survive and keep you trapped in the eating disorder. So around this time, it was in July. It was in July last year. That's Lincoln. He's playing a game on the bed. He's saying hi. It was July last year that I went into residential treatment, and it was definitely an experience. I was there for 2.5 weeks. I was supposed to be there longer, but I decided it was time to go home. Yeah, is that funny? My baby needed me, huh? Treatment was definitely interesting. If you want to hear me talk more about my time in residential treatment, let me know. I don't want to go too much into it right now. But basically, Lincoln, basically I was at the point where I needed someone to force me to eat larger amounts of food, normal amounts of food, because I couldn't do it on my own. So once I got to the point where I was a little bit more used to eating and was able to kind of start pulling out of it, I came home, and there's reasons behind me leaving early that are very specific to me. I'm not saying I recommend you leave early, but I have some very severe food allergies that made me have to leave early. But if I didn't go to treatment, I really believe that I would still be struggling pretty hard. So if you are currently debating going to treatment, or if a doctor has told you need to listen to the doctor. Or a family member. In my case, it was my husband. So let's move on to what helped me most. Obviously, going into treatment and being forced to eat, even when you don't want to, and getting your body used to food again. There's so many things that your body goes through when you are not feeding it. But honestly, the therapy and stuff at treatment, it helped some. But when I got back home and out of treatment, I started a mentorship with a very godly woman in my life, and we started going through a book called The Victory Over the Darkness by Neil Anderson, this right here. And just improving my walk with God, my relationship with God, and kind of understanding what's going on with these all these negative thoughts that are in my head. They're all from Satan, and he is just trying to pull me away from God, and just slight perspective changes and changes in focusing, your thought changes have really been just the biggest help for me. I still struggle where I will be like a day where I just am like consumed by these thoughts. Every day is different, and every day you have to start over, and you have to start fresh every day and keep going. But there's definitely been so much in this book that has helped. So there's a chapter in here called Winning the Battle for Your Mind, and that really is, an eating disorder is just a battle for your mind. And when I got back home, Daniel called my eating disorder Susan. So whenever we're talking about food or anything, if I say I'm not hungry, he asks if that's Susan talking, my eating disorder, or me. And it really is, it's weird. It's like another person inside of you controlling your thoughts, and even if it goes against what you believe and what you want to actually do, it's hard to explain. And just know that if you have an eating disorder, or if you know someone who has an eating disorder, they didn't ask for this, they didn't want this. It comes on so gradually, and then it just like, it doesn't want to let go. So I really truly believe it's just Satan trying to pull us away from God, and it's just to consume our lives and our thoughts. Obviously, I don't like that I have an eating disorder and have struggled with it, but I do believe that everything happens for a purpose. I believe that God allowed me to go through this so that I can help others, and that's really, I don't know what I'm wanting to put on my eyes here. And I've already seen that in my life. There is a girl that I met miraculously through Instagram and through another girl I went to treatment with, and she's currently really struggling and trying to get into treatment, and every single day is a battle for her mind, and she'll end up saying, yeah, I need to go to treatment, and then she's like, nope, I'm good. Like last night she, I know you're watching, so sorry. I know she's watching this, but anyways, she was telling me that she doesn't even have an eating disorder, and that's just Satan lying and the eating disorder trying to protect itself. It doesn't want you to let go. So I think that listening to your family, your friends, your medical professionals, just knowing that you can't really trust your own thoughts. It's so strange. I know it is. It's weird, but that's one of the biggest things that, like, in treatment helped, is me realizing that I couldn't trust my own thought process. I would see these girls and they were really small, and they thought they were healthy, and they thought that they were at a good enough weight to go home, and knowing that they are clearly not seeing what I see, what everybody else sees, that made me realize that what I'm seeing in myself is not true. It's not factual. And so knowing that I can't trust my own thoughts really helped. So leaning on your medical professionals and your family and friends will really help, because you can't trust yourself right now if you are in an eating disorder. So I am almost a year out from being in treatment, and I am so much better, but I'm so much happier. I finally doing all the things I love again. I'm back into my business, my photography. So just know that if you have an eating disorder, you can beat this, and you will. You just have to, you have to want to. And I know that you don't want to every single day, because it's easier to just stay where you are. But if you need to talk or want someone to help convince you that you need help, message me on Instagram. I would love to help, and I would love to, even if you just want to have someone to talk to that has been through the same thing. It's amazing what meeting other people who go through this, how it helps. And just knowing that you're not the only one with these thoughts, and you're not the only one that's struggling with this. And it is such a strange thing to struggle with, because it's like, it should be natural, right? You eat. Your body needs food, you eat. It is really weird sometimes, but it definitely helps to know someone who has been through it. So if you just need someone to talk to, message me on Instagram. I will leave my Instagram down below. But yeah. Oh, I always stab myself doing my mascara. Does anybody else do that? Alright, so I could talk about this for quite a while, but I think I'm going to wrap it up here. So I hope that this was helpful, even just to hear that someone else is going through the same thing. I've thought about doing like a little mini series talking with other people who have gone through this and who have gone through different types of eating disorders. I know a few girls from treatment who are better. I know that it's not many people will want to come on here and talk about it, but there are some. And I think that it needs to become more common for us to talk about it and to support each other. So if any of my fellow ERC girls want to be in a video just encouraging others or sharing experience or giving any advice, let me know, and we will try to film, even if it's you know, we live in different states, but we can figure something out. So if you would like to hear from other eating disorder strugglers, let me know in the comments, and I'll see if any of them are willing to come on camera. So you're not alone, you're loved. God loves you even if you don't know it, and I'm here for you if you need anything. More gorgeous than you know. You're more loved than you know. Yeah. All right, I think that's gonna be it for this one. I'm gonna try to edit this and hopefully I actually post it. Yeah, it's really hard. So, all right guys, I will see you guys next time. Stay gorgeous. Bye.